And inside there's a tremendous teapot. That's no teapot.
England is the popular tsundere of the Hetalia series. Despite his self-proclaimed image as a gentleman, he is prone to fighting, and isn't above using underhanded tactics to get what he wants. He has a reputation as the black sheep of Europe, and has trouble expressing kindness without resorting to his jerk persona. This has led to him having no friends outside of magical creatures, and many nations are hesitant to accept his help. England is lonely, but has built up his ego to the point of believing he is fine alone. Yet he is shown to be jealous of other nations' closeness, and eager for a chance at friendship. Not that he'll admit it. Whenever he does something nice, his inability to be honest tends to make things worse. He is incredibly snobby about his own culture, and isn't afraid to brag about his many successes. Especially tea. While mature, when it comes to mythical beings, he is quite the romantic, and a space case. Also he has knowledge in the dark arts. He has horrible cooking, and has a bad taste in food. Interest in rock music. Focuses too much on criticizing American movies. And can't swim. He has a bad relationship with his brothers. They stone and shoot arrows at him whenever they meet. He is eager to be a mentor figure himself, but has a bad track record. England fought for the right to take care of America, and they were close for that period until England began to oppose more on America. This resulted in the American Revolution. The two are still bitter about this. England is noted to suffer from a broken heart and gets physically sick every 4th of July, while America actively takes any chance to spite England, like switching to coffee, or beating him in any sort of competition. Despite this, they tend to be the other's only friend at times, though they have problems admitting this out loud. France has been England's rival since birth. Despite this, the two share some similarities, like being toxic pieces of garbage. France bullied England in his youth with his dream being to conquer him, but also cared for England. They use each other's nationalities as insults, and bicker about nothing unless they have a common enemy. Most of the battles they're involved in are to spite each other, and they have no problem ditching allied nations for their own rivalry. The few moments they get along are very short, but England is able to show kindness to him under his usual tsundere cover. England has no problem admiring French cooking. Both were rivals during the Anglo-Spanish War. While most fans idealized their relationship to the degree of Pirates of the Caribbean, it was mostly England humiliating Spain in underhanded tactics. Despite not speaking in canon, they are often paired up due to their relation to the occult. Both are able to see ghosts. Like rock music. Think about their loneliness. She is very sardonic about his cooking, and sees him as a problem for Russia, considering England's relationship with her brother. England is terrified of Russia. He is noted as the one person England doesn't want to be alone with. At the same time, he is a major obstacle for Russia who can't push him around. Most of the time they usually cause problems for each other. Russia supporting America during the American Revolution, and disrupting his black magic attempts. They are able to be civil in non-war situations. And Russia even enjoys the arguments England gets into. They have one of the oldest alliances in history, both specializing in maritime trading, and love causing problems for Spain. Portugal has a rivalry with Spain similar to England and France. England is very invested in Portugal's politics, and Portugal has no problems relying on him. That's about it. Seychelles was once one of England's colonies. There is technically 2 versions of Seychelles, while both are snappy to England. The visual novel version is a typical heroine, and the manga one is more eccentric. She makes it her duty to annoy him, not unlike America, but was also happy when England trusted her to host a wedding. Seychelles is historically known as a safe haven for pirates. 2 losers caught up in their own egos. They have fought against and with each other based on their own personal interests, especially during the Napoleonic Wars. Their odd relationship is explored during the 2009 April Fool's blog event, and it's kind of hilarious.
そりゃそうだろうな。俺と飯食えるとか幸せにも程があるぜ。
嬉しそうなんかじゃねえよ。見間違えだろ、バカ。
The two formed an alliance over their similar isolation and lack of friends. Japan's reserved nature stops England from being too harsh. England often brags about their relationship, and is eager to understand Japan's culture, with mixed results. After World War II, they reform their alliance, showing no hurt feelings. China has had a grudge against England since the Opium Wars, working under him during his weakened state, and his ownership of Hong Kong hasn't helped. The two didn't have a great first meeting during the Viking Age. England is greatly influenced by Norwegian culture, and Norway, while neutral, supported the British over Germany during the First World War. Whether out of kindness or necessity is up to you. As thanks for the British's help during World War II, Norway showed its appreciation by sending England a Norwegian Christmas tree every year. Norway and England also share a similar interest in the supernatural. The two have a close business relationship rarely explored in the series. They often fought over trade routes during their pirate days, and caused problems for Spain. During the Glorious Revolution, Netherlands helped England from falling under Scotland and France's influence. This resulted in a series of treaties between the two. They share an interest in gardening, are loners, and love playing both sides in war. Netherlands was a huge support for England during World War II. Similar to America, England fought for the ownership of Canada. On numerous occasions, he is shown to forget Canada like everyone else, which is strange when the World Star manga insists the duo have a close bond. Canada is very loyal to England and earned his independence without having to go to war like America. Despite being forgetful of him, to a ridiculous degree, England is grateful for Canada being by his side while all the other nations teamed up against him. Canada's need for England's approval has damaged his self-esteem, yet he can also be more confident whenever England is involved. England and Germany have been in conflict since the First World War. The two sometimes have moments of bonding amidst all of the battling. England is usually spying on the Axis and crying over their closeness. After the end of World War II, Germany would be working under England. They share an interest in baking and are serious individuals compared to the nations they find themselves taking care of. When you're desperate for a straight ship, they share the same national anthem. When one tsundere isn't enough. Almost as loyal as Canada. They both like black magic. No more abandonment issues, please. He got him a job, that's real love.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child, corrupt them all,